Hello. The question I'm asked the most is, what was my way to start at KFC? And when was it? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Oliver. I run 4 KFCs in Switzerland and I'm a volunteering fireman. When I started at KFC in 2002, I was basically starting as a dishwasher and helping in the lobby. And even in the conversation with the area coach who hired me, it was in a Volkswagen multivan on a parking lot of the soon-to-be built KFC restaurant in Germany, in Hagen. He asked me, what was the reason you apply for a normal team member or maybe even someone in the lobby when you have a sales degree? It was for me pretty simple. That was the job they were offering on the newspaper. But in hindsight, that was one of the best decisions, because I didn't get any special shirts, special treatment, getting the right cab, whatever, any badge, just because, I applied for it. But I had to earn all the wings myself. So 2002 I started in KFC in Hagen. I was then working in Pulheim, in Remscheid. I was basically helping out all over the place. Whenever there was a new opening, they sent me from Remscheid. I finished cleaning there. They asked me to go to Pulheim. I was working then later in Hagen because the restaurant opened a little later. And I also worked in Wuppertal. But what really was the nice part on this is I could always make a difference by helping, in just my station. And till now, I really love the work of someone helping in the lobby, because you're in direct contact with the customer. You make sure that the next shift, the next day has everything ready. And on the other hand, you have a lot of freedom and flexibility to move around the place. And this, I think, holds true for many places where you have people who do just the planche, the cleaning part, and working and helping in the lobby. Later on, I learned all the ranks, kitchen, burger station, whatever was necessary at a KFC. And it was shortly before my holidays in 2002 where my boss asked me, hey, you said you want to work wherever it's needed. Why don't you go to the south of Germany? And what I actually did. So I moved, I think one day after my holiday, just arrived home, washed some clothes, went back in the car and went to the south. That was an amazing step for me, but actually it didn't feel anything special because it's just another restaurant, whatever. So that was 2002. Moved to the new restaurant, and basically after 2 days I got the key. Probably a little more training would have been good, but it was the necessity which drove all those decisions. And I basically fell into the ranks and fell into the steps needed. And I had great management helping me in that restaurant to grow, to become stronger and better. And there I learned already there's a difference between responsibility and a task. Although I was supposed to do the things, the responsibility still was with someone else, with my restaurant manager. And he took and held it that way. And there was something which gave me the freedom actually to grow, to learn, to make mistakes, because someone else would be strong enough to pick me up and make the shoulders wide for whatever went wrong, let's say. I stayed with KFC for I think 1.5, 2 years from there. Left the company, came back next year in 2005 in the summer, helped on the opening in Munich. Were loosely connected to KFC over the following years. 2014, came back, Freiburg, Offenburg, went again, came back in 2016, Bielefeld, Loom, Badinhausen, Kamen, was all over there, helped a little in Salzbergen, and then went to Switzerland. helped a little building up the stuff in Shoppiland and Mendrisio. Prepared the opening was done in Welle 7 in Bern, and now I'm here responsible for 4 restaurants. So what can you learn from this? First of all, if you come externally and jump into a quick service restaurant like KFC, McDonald's or Burger King, and especially McDonald's, I was working in between as well, it is good and bad if you know everything. I mean, it's good because you can fix things, you can help, you can ensure the business is running better than without you. But at the same time, it's bad because you tend to fix the things instead of helping and developing people to fix it themselves, because you probably have the best solution already learned in mind and you want to apply it. Yeah, on the other hand, if you're a great leader, you can lead the people to the right conclusion and still be able to learn something from them. But in my case, that took me a couple of years. And I'm pretty sure in 2002, 2003, 2004, nope, I had the right way. I had the standards in mind. And there was little or no other way to do things than the right one. And this is what I learned the hard way on that part. And I learned it later the easy way when I started at McDonald's. Because at McDonald's, due to health issues from another shift leader, I was thrown into the water again in the more kind of quick than planned way. But I didn't know nothing about McDonald's, and even the way they do fries is different than to KFC. So I had to empower my team. I had to ask my team why and what to do and what they think is the best way, and at the same time learn all the stuff which was necessary by just basically using all the documentations, online classes, etc. what McDonald's had to offer. And that made me actually a better leader in a quicker way than it took me to become a better leader at KFC. Because on one hand I knew the things, and here now I had to be humble. But the important part is just to have to be humble and actually being humble are two different things, and not everyone, I think, is able to do so, to step back and say, I'm just here to work for my people. And this learning for my leaders as well, that they work for the team, not the other way around, is something which is really awesome to see when everything falls into place. And I hope whether you're in a worker position where your leadership is empowering you and working for you, or you are in the beneficial position that you work for a team and help them to become better and stronger and achieve more, I'm happy for you as well. For everyone else, there are a lot of steps and ways to improve everyone around you, leading up the chain of command, and on the other hand, change your own behavior and your own approach when you're the leader. I hope that inspires you a little and gives you some answers on the question, how did I come to KFC and what was my way? I'm pretty open on this. You can look it up on LinkedIn as well. Thank you so much for watching. I will put another video down here, and I will have a little time here now in my transition. Have a great one. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. See you next time.